Game number 1, everybody. We have TeamLiquid versus Virtus Pro. Khaldor is our first map in the best of 3 series here in the round of 8 at the winner bracket of the End of the Storm finals in Europe. And of course, once again, the question, Leeming or not Leeming? So Virtus Pro, they start with a ban on Falset here for our first map. All of the heroes are allowed with the exception of Stitches, of course. Stitches currently, unfortunately, has a bug on his hook that can cause lag in custom games, which is why Blizzard, or why the tournament organizers Gozo Gamers decided to ban him out for now until there's a hotfix. Looks like Leeming is going to be banned by TeamLiquid, which allows Virtus Pro to go into Rhaegar if they want to. Now, the highly contested heroes at the start of the draft are usually Rhaegar and also Zagara. In this case, Virtus Pro decides to go for Rhaegar first. That's what we normally see. Sometimes Zagara is being picked over Rhaegar, but I would still expect TeamLiquid to go for Zagara here right now. He has great map control. Khaldor, of course, is also a great map for Falstad, which is why he is banned out. You can get great access and control over the two bosses and over the tributes as well with the Mighty Gust, and of course the ability to just like fly into any point of the map is definitely extremely strong, and that's one of the things where Falstad can really shine. TeamLiquid is a team that likes to play quite aggressive, and they are actually starting things off with a Tassadar here. Now, Tassadar already an interesting start for them. They can combo Tassadar off with any other hero if they really want to, but they are also one of the teams that have been known to play Tassadar as the solo support. If you play Tassadar as a solo support, we oftentimes see heroes at the front line like Muradin, like a Johanna, that have a bit of self-sustain. Even a Sonya, for example, would make sense with a ferocious healing on level 7. Whereas Tassadar is really strong as a solo support, it always pays off if you have at least a few heroes that have self-sustain on your lineup, so that Tassadar has a bit of an easier time to keep things alive. Also, ETC, for example, is not really unheard of doing played with Tassadar, since he then, of course, can also go for groupies. With Tassadar, we also see oftentimes additional like healers, like for example, like Tirana can be played together with him. Muradin is already chosen, as I said, like with his trait, he is a prime candidate to be played with Tassadar, and it's a very high priority that TeamLiquid actually gives the Protoss healer here. Virtus Pro, on the other hand, they still have access to Zagara if they want now. So Rhaegar, of course, as one of the best healers in the game right now. You can really carry quite hard with him. The shield does a lot of damage. You have very nice healing options as well. On level 13, we usually see in the European scene the cooldown reduction. We have Illidan being picked. So Illidan has started to make a bit of a comeback here, which is super interesting and just absolutely awesome to watch. Oftentimes you see a Tassadar and Rhaegar composition if someone wants to go into an Illidan play, but TeamLiquid already reacted early on here with a pick on Tassadar, so Virtus Pro are currently relying on Rhaegar as the only support for Illidan, but they still need a couple of heroes and they can really help the melee assassin out. Keep in mind that, of course, Muradin is also a bit of a counter hero against Illidan, since his Reverberation build is going to slow down the auto attacks on Illidan, and that, of course, gives him a little bit of trouble, since a lot of his like traits depend on his auto attacks, like the healing, for example. So that's going to be incredibly important here now too. Virtus Pro, they need now a lineup that caters a bit to Illidan. They need one damage dealer in the back line. Jaina could, for example, work here. They need someone that is able to just like do a whole lot of damage. And Jaina has surpassed Kalthas by now. Kalthas was nerfed a little bit, especially, of course, when we're talking about his shield on level 16 and also his gravity lapse, whereas Jaina's damage overall with her burst abilities has been buffed by Blizzard just slightly, and therefore we usually see her as one of the first ranged attack damage dealers that is being taken here. They seem to go into that Vala, that especially Sevkaje, of course, loves. Virtus Pro and Sevkaje, that's one of the teams that has been played Vala for the most time. And this is actually, I think, one of the setups that they played in the past. It's pretty familiar. You might be familiar with it. Like, they played back in the days a quadruple blood for blood combo where they bursted heroes down. Blizzard since then has nerfed blood for blood a bit, but if you've already been around during those days, you are probably, you can probably remember what they did back then. It was pretty fun to observe. Now, TeamLiquid has, of course, now to think about which of these heroes would synergize the best with Illidan. Like, heroes that jump together with Illidan into the backline are always incredibly strong. ETC is now being banned out for one of those reasons. Like, especially when ETC was played a few months back in 2015, we had ETC oftentimes with a stage dive build, a talent that got buffed by Blizzard, played with Illidan together. The whole concept of it was that Illidan would be, or ETC would be on the other side of the map. Illidan would jump the backline of the opponent, and then immediately ETC jumps in with a stage dive as well. So both of these heroes would be in the backline and just like try to disrupt everything. Virtus Pro, they ban Zagara out. So a hero that we oftentimes see taken very early in the game has now been banned out because so far the teams had different strategies that they really tried to pursue here. And TeamLiquid might bring the slug back. Now that's of course a question what exactly they want to do with that. If they go for Abathur, Jaina would be a very nice target here, and there she is. Jaina for the copy, that's already great. You also pick, of course, Abathur away of the Illidan composition. I can still play Abathur with an Illidan, and that might have been one of the ideas that Virtus Pro had here. But a Jaina would work very, very nicely now for Team Liquid. She's already buffed and very strong, and of course Abathur and Jaina was always a little bit of a romance between the two, since a copy on Jaina is incredibly powerful. And Team Liquid would be well advised to really lock her down right now. So far they haven't accepted the pick yet, but now they do, because I'm pretty sure that Virtus Pro would have at least thought about picking Jaina as well. For now, though, Virtus Pro, they need a frontliner. They have a few options right now. They could go, for example, also... Like in a different setup, I would have even said that they can go into a Chen. The hero is being picked a little bit more often these days since his flying kick got fixed by Blizzard. I don't really feel like he would be too strong here now, but Chen can jump into the backline together with an Illidan, and he's a very disruptive force. He's oftentimes picked against Agara because he's a lane bully, but it's way more likely that we're going to see a hero like maybe Johanna. A Tyrael can also jump into the backline, but we are definitely going to see another frontline. I highly doubt that Tyrael is going to be played as the only tank at the frontline. Now, if you really want to dive the backline hard, you could go Tyrael, Anub'arak, and Illidan, but that would be extremely old school, and I haven't really seen any of these compositions as of late. Tyrael in this particular setup could decide to go into Judgment, but I think that Sanctification would also be extremely viable here against Jaina and potentially double Jaina, plus even the Storm on Tassadar. It's a lot of AoE abilities that you can of course dodge if you use Sanctification as the heroic ability on Tyrael. But we have in the past seen Tyrael with Judgment trying to jump into the backline together with Illidan. Oh, and instead of like a Anub'arak or someone else as a second like frontliner, they go into Thrall, which is of course like a little bit like a bruiser. You often fills a similar role like Sonya, for example. So they have with Illidan and Thrall plus Tyrael a super aggressive composition. And Team Liquid counters with Sonya. So now all of a sudden, two great targets for Abathur. Symbiote Head on Sonya, copy on Jaina. It's a very aggressive comp that they play. And it's a comp that really has a lot of merit here, considering what Virtus Pro is currently trying to do. Sonya is definitely a hero that has a lot of self-sustain as well. We've been talking about this when Tassadar was chosen for Team Liquid. So if you look at the heroes that they decided to play with at the front line, a Muradin that has a great trait for it, Stoneform level 16, Avatar level 10, and then also Sonya with a ferocious healing that I pointed out a bit earlier during the draft. There's a lot of synergy between those heroes. So Tassadar with Leeching Plasma can also help there as well. Team Liquid might have considered going into a Thrall instead, but right now as Thrall is picked away, Sonya seems like a very viable option for them, unless of course they're deciding to go into a more passive version of the entire setup and lock down another frontliner, which they don't. They go into Sonya, so the more aggressive stance against it. Sonya also with a lot of single target damage that she can dish out with a good spear and a couple of slams behind it. Illidan might be in some trouble here, and that's of course the whole reason that they are using this. Could even see them going with Abathur into more of a symbiote build, even though these days Mines build and also like a couple of like hybrid builds with an attempt to go for locust pressure is very popular and the most common that we see. But with a Sonya against this setup right now, having done on level 13 and 16 the additional symbiote talents, that might not be a bad idea here. As is, we have a great setup. We have Abathur back to business. We have a Thrall, Illidan, and Tyrael composition. So a lot of aggression from Virtus Pro. We are used to see exactly that from the Russians. And we're going to find out together right now which team is going to take the lead in the series here at the end of the Storm Europe Finals. Team Liquid going up against Virtus Pro. Game number 1, everybody, in the round of 8 at the winner's bracket here at the end of the Storm Europe Finals. We have Team Liquid going up against Virtus Pro. So in our first game here on Khaldor, to the left side, we have Team Liquid with Lowell on Sonya, Shat on Abathur, the Slug is back, Yuvo on Muradin, we have Chris on Jaina, and Get Amhead on Tassadar. To the right side of the map, Virtus Pro, the Russian team with Sefkajil on Thrall, we have Neon on Vala, Lunan on Rhaegar, Power of Dream on Illidan, and Mopsio is playing Tyrael here for the team. So pretty solid setup, and especially when we're looking, actually like both teams with a pretty cool setup. First of all, we have on the side of Virtus Pro a very aggressive stance taken with 2 melee assassins and also Tyrael here, so a very aggressive front line that they are currently running. And at the same time, we have Shat back on Abathur, a hero that he has already played with great success on other maps like Infernal Shrines. But they can also really help out here with Tassadar being the only support for the team, so the shields on Abathur are going to help keeping heroes alive as well. There's great synergy between Tassadar as the only healer and sustain that we see on Muradin and Sonya, for example, too. And having the copy on Jaina now after she got buffed is going to help quite a bit. Abathur, especially on objective maps like Cursed Hollow, also an absolutely great addition to your team, since he can always buddy soak experience at the other end of the map if a tribute spawns. And with Abathur in general, there's a lot of misunderstandings with the hero, so we're going to talk a little bit about how you can actually soak experience with him. So there's a couple of ways on how you can actually do that. First of all, buddy soak is probably one of the most important things. If a tribute spawns, a little bit of a gank attempt up at the top here, and nice burst damage against Lunan, and the kill against Rhaegar. The hate against the Wolf is there, and they take him down. But as I was about to say, Abathur is usually trying to go to the map, and they go for the same lane again. Look at TeamLiquid here. Really aggressive, and Power of Dream goes down as well. Everybody was expecting TeamLiquid to rotate down to the bot lane, but they didn't do that at all. They just stayed at the top and went for it again. So great job by Chris and Juve. Abathur now, coming back to our original topic, he can soak experience with his buddy. So usually you see him hiding in one of these bushes when there's a tribute at the other end of the map. You can also soak experience with a symbiote. So as long as the symbiote is around when you are somewhere on the map, you get experience as well to everything that dies in radius of that symbiote head that you put out. But you cannot soak experience with the Locust alone. That doesn't work. Unless the Locust kills a minion, you won't get experience with it. Again, the snipe against Sefkasha, but this time not successful. TeamLiquid has, of course, to be very careful here, since towers do now 50% extra damage against heroes. They have to be careful how deep they go in for these kills. We're currently seeing Illidan starting to do Illidan things, and Lowell is already waiting around here, and it looks like they might get a chance to jump in and steal that camp away. Tassadar is on his way. We're seeing Muradin moving in too, and Jaina isn't far either, and they go for the camp here. Great move again by TeamLiquid. Very aggressive here already in the game. Yeah, we're going to talk about the talents also in a moment, as 4 heroes are starting to invade Virtus Pro, and they go straight for the kill against Mopsio, but Gerd is low, trying to get away here. They get the kill against Tassa. The camp is stolen by TeamLiquid. Tyrell is dead too, and Lunan about to fall. Nice kill here by Chris, is paying with his life as well. Lowell is still not done yet though, and they go for the kill against Vala, and they might even get Illidan. He barely gets away here. But very nice moves on the side of TeamLiquid with 5 kills against 2 now. Looking at the talents taken, especially of course the level 4 talent on Tyrael and also his level 1, those are the 2 that really stand out. The Horadric Reforging has already been used, so cooldown reduction that you get for Druid's Might, and even in death is also a pretty interesting talent to be taken here. So a different style that we see from Tyrael that is usually being used. More trying to just be more of a utility hero at the front line than dishing out the damage. They don't really need any extra damage or sustain on him. He's a part of a try setup. I mean, we have, of course, Rhaegar as a melee hero if you so want as well, but especially like Thrall, Illidan, and Tyrael with that lightning shield are extremely powerful. The lightning bond has been taken. Oftentimes when you see a melee assassin in Rhaegar's team, you will instead see the electric charge, since you can then dive the backline and dish out a lot more damage. Wave clear is going to be quite nice for that. And also taking down bosses is much easier if you have taken the lightning bond. Camps on the map in general are easily taken if you have that particular talent, so that's something that they're going to try to rely upon now. In regards to the talents on Abathur, the Envenom Nest has been taken on level 1, and we see now the Prolific Dispersal taken here as well, with the cooldown reduction and the additional charges. So the slow on level 7 should follow as well. Camp attack down here. Lunan and Power of Dream are moving in. They want to steal one of the camps away. TeamLiquid not rotating in just yet. Abathur trying to help out. Juve is low, has to jump away. The kill against Tassadar already successful, but in comes Lowell. They kill Thrall, but Sonya now also dead. The camp stolen, and Muradin falls too. Great play here by Virtus Pro. We've been talking about their aggressive setup here, and they're currently showcasing exactly that. The teams are now both on level 7 talents, but we have a lead in experience for Virtus Pro with a follow through now after we see the lightning talents taken for Thrall with a rolling thunder and the right to lightning. Rhaegar with the channel now at the bottom of the map, going straight for tribute number 1 for the team. And we have battle momentum for Tyrael. We see also cleanse now taken with the stuns that we have on the side of especially Muradin. Of course, is quite annoying if you have behind you a double Jaina potentially then later on in the game. So in this case, an adjustment. Chris going on level 7 again for the Ice Lance. He really likes it. It's a great build if you want to go for poke. If you are trying to just like lock somebody down and like poke from distance, and this is a great talent to take. You of course have to be able to hit your skill shots, but Chris usually doesn't have problems on that part. The Violinist, as expected, with the slow and the movement speed. So with those talents and the synergy that Abathur has now, he will be able to like put them all over the map and slow down any kind of rotation from lane to lane, which is exactly what Shed is going to try and do. He'll be out on the map to try and soak experience whenever he can, and we're going to talk about that later on once it happens. With also Illidan going into Immolation and Shadow Shield. Not really much has changed with Illidan's build here in the recent past, and he's still trying to do exactly what he always did. Take the camps on the map and then jump into the opponent's backline a little bit later on. Mopsio on his Mask interior, looking pretty sexy there, is of course starting to jump in against Lola. At least he's hoping to do that. Here he comes, but Lowell can whirlwind away, and that's exactly what he does. There's no stun against them. Tribute on the map though, and we have an entire level lead for Virtus Pro, so TeamLiquid is all of a sudden in a bit of trouble. We have, as expected, also now Sanctification taken. Lockdown against Juve, but they have to give it up. It's only the second tribute for Virtus Pro. There's no real need to go for it. You can see that Sonya is still at the bottom of the map. Only thing that Juve is currently trying to do is slow them down and buy some time for Sonya, especially to get some extra experience here. And already now the rotation to the middle from Sonya. Abathur is taking over. As we've been saying earlier, he's now in one of those bushes trying to soak the experience here on the lane. So if they can actually like keep everybody on the side of Virtus Pro a little bit longer up at the top lane, Abathur is going to give them extra experience here while still helping out with the symbiote. It's incredibly important to do exactly that with Abathur. If you ever want to play Abathur yourself, then make sure that you have that lockdown cold. If you know that your opponent is completely at the other end of the map, use Abathur with that body soak and then help your team out with the symbiote. It's incredibly powerful and one of the main reasons why we're now currently seeing TeamLiquid running the hero here. Besides, of course, now the level 10 talent with the ultimate evolution, where we will see the copy on Jaina for the fights. Jaina going straight into the water element, and once again we see Haymaker, a talent that has become a lot more popular. We've seen it played by Na'Vi recently. And it's a very, very nice and aggressive talent, of course. But it also takes some of the survivability away that Abathur brings to the table. This is going to be an important tribute. TeamLiquid has to make sure that Virtus Pro is not able to take it. And, well, Juve is already at the front. Gadamet is trying to go for it. Thrall was at the bot lane. Abathur is still there, still soaking experience with his body. We have the fight up at the top now. Abathur can help out. Did not go for a copy on Jaina yet. He has the tribute taken. And now TeamLiquid can simply move back. A lot of pressure in the middle of the map already with the Bruiser camp that Virtus Pro has taken a bit earlier. Abathur is still soaking EXP here, still being in range, and is starting to move back now since they don't really know anymore where everybody is located on the Virtus Pro side. At the same time, once again, the top lane being attacked. Power of Dream taking down the tower together with the rest of them. And of course, yeah, Gadam here trying to go for a lockdown. Oh, a nice damage. Lowell jumps in, gets a bit of free damage in. Moves back immediately, of course, has to be careful here. And Juve is also there. He wants to jump in and use Haymaker. Didn't see an opportunity to do that just yet and has to move back, but was always like in the background and just waiting for a chance to isolate one of the heroes with a good Haymaker. Especially, of course... Oh, wow! They took down Illidan. Not quite sure where exactly that happened. Over here, Illidan apparently a little bit too far out and got bursted immediately by the double blizzard from Chris. So job well done on that part. But yeah, Haymaker in that case not really used just yet, but if they can, for example, just like use someone here, that might be the chance. Jumping in, and here comes the Haymaker. Is he going for it? Nope, doesn't even have to. Haymaker still on cooldown, can't even do that, so he used it apparently at the top against Illidan after all. Already the tribute is up, and that's the cursed tribute that we're talking about right now. The kill against Rhaegar, TeamLiquid, they were behind in experience, but thanks to Shat and all those additional heroes that they now took down, they're looking very solid. Gerd is taking the tribute up to the top lane. Vala in an attempt to still get a bit of extra experience for the team. They realize they can't go for the tribute. They accept the curse, and TeamLiquid is busy at the boss, and with two heroes down, there's nothing that Virtus Pro can do about it. Great job by TeamLiquid so far. And now, of course, they just run with the advantage. They take the boss, they have level 13, that gives them now, first of all, the Mystical Spear, and we're seeing Thunderstrike taken, plus the improved Ice Block. And as expected already, we talked about this during the draft, we have the Soma Transference now taken. Instead of going for those Locust talents that Shatso prefers, he makes an adjustment, he goes for the Spike Burst and the heal. It's incredibly important for them to have that, especially with Haymaker now claimed. Juve is going deep for Neon, he wants the kill. Here comes the Stormbolt, and Haymaker to the face, my friend. Neon is down, and that was a great kill here. Super aggressive, not even behind the wall was Zavala safe. Murden just jumped in and went for the kill here. But yeah, incredibly important to make that adjustment on level 13 and not go for the Locust build that you usually see from Shad, but instead make sure that Sonya and also Murden, if they are in the fight, if they're deep in the backline, have something where they can get some hit points back. The boss still at the bot lane has to be defended against, of course. The fort at the bot lane has been defeated. The one up at the top lane destroyed as well. And down here at the bottom of the map, we're now seeing at least the gate falling. The gate falls, one of the towers might as well. It's going to be close, but so far, Virtus Pro is doing what they can. They are behind in experience right now by roughly 1 level. We have Thrall going into the spell shield here. Cooldown reduction also for Rhaegar. It's pretty common to see that these days now. And the Sixth Sense is going to be incredibly important for Illidan. But again, a couple of adjustments here. Imposing Will already taken. That, of course, is also great. And we have now at the same time, again, the team starting to aim for level 16. The problem that Virtus Pro really has is that TeamLiquid is playing now a bit of more of a passive job, going from camp to camp. They want to go into level 16 before they start another fight, and then they might even go straight for an attempt for boss. They actually check boss up at the top. Abathur has mines everywhere, making sure that he sees exactly what's going on. You can really see that with these mines, it's really difficult now for them to move in. So they will be slowed if they try to move in, and there's the level 16 talent, and as expected, immediately the attack onto the boss, and Venom Spike's now taken 2. Mopsio already slowed down. He tries to jump in, but he doesn't have his level 16 talent yet. TeamLiquid can turn it around. Nice attempt with the Sundering, but not working out for them. The kill against Thrall. Here comes Vala in the back. Sanctification used. Shad on the copy, going straight for that double Blizzard. Chris is low and actually potentially dying here. Not quite though. Chris still alive. Not even the Terror Explosion taking him down. And that's 3 heroes, of course, eliminated. And TeamLiquid is looking super strong. They take the boss. They go straight for the next camp. But the thought process that we had there on Virtus Pro was actually quite smart. They jumped in with Tyrael, used the Sanctification on the spot, and then Thrall used Sundering, trying to just like push everybody out of the circle to claim the Golem, which didn't really work for them. So boss ends up in the hands of TeamLiquid. It was a bit of a desperate move here by Virtus Pro, and it does not work out, so they fall behind even more. And TeamLiquid with a very controlled game here. 13 kills on their part against 5 on the side of Virtus Pro. And just think about how aggressive this entire setup is that Virtus Pro is currently playing, but they still can't really do anything about it. So that's definitely one of those moments when TeamLiquid is doing everything right. We're having in terms of like damage, 32,000 on Abathur, really dishing out the numbers here. His nests once again in very nice spots here, even in the mid lane, making sure that they can cover the retreat if need be. They're having at the same time now also Tacita with a lot of siege damage thanks to the storm. They're going deep for the kill again. Mopsio is jumps away because that was a close one. Haymaker was ready, but did not get used that. Here comes the kill against Illidan. Illidan down, and they go also for a kill against Tyrael. Lol is there, but Tyrael dying. He actually jumped back to the sword, but could not get away. Yeah, Ruin Smite working well for him, but not well enough. Here comes the kill, potentially also now against Thrall. Nice heals with the Ancestral Healing here, but still Sefkash is losing everything and dies now too. TeamLiquid is just dominating Virtus Pro here now. The level 16 talents don't make a difference. Earthgrasp Totem even has been taken on Rhaegar. Didn't go for the extra damage on the shield, which we usually see, but just tries to give his team some measure of retreat. Didn't work out for them in this case. We're having now Holy Ground taken. A talent that Tyrael, of course, was trying to get access to before the boss fight, but that didn't really work for them. Shad taking another tribute on the map now as well, and that, of course, helps for them now too. Lowell and you were all at the top, at the top lane. There we go. Trying to wait for the mercenary camp so that they can take this away. Like, good timing here. They, of course, realize, okay, it's another 10 seconds. Started to move up to the top to take that and put more pressure onto the lanes. And TeamLiquid is just like playing a very solid game. If you're ahead in Heroes of the Storm, you should always try to get farther ahead by taking down structures, claiming the mercenary camps on the map with the map control that you have. And that is what TeamLiquid is currently trying to do. Just like run with the advantage, use the map control, and they need to take a few of these keeps down before the opponent is able to catch up. Because TeamLiquid will soon enough hit level 20, and the Storm Talons are going to be very important for them. But once they have those, they need to make sure that they put them into some use and really just like take another boss, claim one of the keeps, because at some point Virtus Pro is also going to reach level 20, and then they will fight on even talents again, and everything that they achieved before is not going to be as important anymore. Get very careful there. Holy Ground is not zoning him out yet. He needs to move away. Shouldn't have a problem with that. And it seems like Virtus Pro is trying to go for the boss since they know that Jaina is at the top lane claiming the tribute. So instead they move now down here. Try to go for the boss fight, but Juve is there. Has Haymaker. Jaina is on the way. Here comes the copy. Double Sonya instead of double Jaina. Jaina isn't there yet and they need someone. They try to go for the burst against Illidan. Thrall is already using his own ult. Here comes the Sanctification and the Holy Ground, but the boss isn't down yet, so they can't take it. And they jump in again. Boss is taken though, great job. Holy ground once again useful here, but what about the fight? Vala is already dead and Thrall follows. The kill against Illidan makes 3, and they jump in again to take Lunan. Lunan falling, it's a complete team wipe. Level 20 as well now for Team Liquid with a double hardened shield, and now they can just like simply move in. Already Abathur up at the top lane, trying to not only soak experience, but he is of course going to go for that keep here, trying to take that down. Up at the front, soaking EXP, using the symbiote now as well. We're seeing them with a hive mind here. We have hardened shield taken twice, the ignore pain version on Sonya. And this is definitely Team Liquid's keep to take. They could try to go for the core now as well, and it looks very much like that's exactly what they're doing. Vala back in 7 seconds, but it doesn't really seem to matter anymore. The core already under attack, and Team Liquid, do they have enough time to drop the core? Vala is back, but Juve is low. Juve is down, Chris is low, blinks away, Lowell is still on it, Get am hit as well. They try to go for it, 30% on the core. Once again, here comes the strafe, but it might just be enough. So much damage, 10%, Get still there. Chris trying to go for the blizzard, but Get is gonna finish it. He's going for it, and he takes it down. Game, and the call was good. Team Liquid with a victory in the first game against Virtus Pro. Draft for game number 2 is starting up, everybody. Tomb of the Spider Queen is the map, and we have Kalthas banned out by Team Liquid, and Li Ming once again banned out as well. Now, of course, we would like to see Li Ming in action, but even with her not being played, she's influencing the draft quite a bit. And oftentimes you would see a ban on Rhaegar, you would see a ban on Zagara, but right now it's a bit different. It's very interesting, actually, that Team Liquid bans out Kalthas here right now. Kalthas usually not chosen as often as Jaina these days, but on this map, where we have a lot of very small corridors, Team Liquid doesn't want to go up against Kalthas. Maybe they have another reason here. Of course, there's always that Pyroblast that does more damage right now, so maybe Team Liquid is going to try to play something where Pyroblast would be a potential counter. I kind of doubt it a little bit at this point, but we have seen Pyroblast even before the Pyroblast changes being used by 1 or 2 teams every now and then, very rarely of course, but now that the damage output has been increased, we could see their talent a little bit more often, and I've actually seen it in scrims quite a bit. We have for Virtus Pro now the start. I would be shocked to not see a Zagara, unless they have some really kind of special draft that they want to like put to the test now. I think that a Zagara is very likely as an early pick here. On Tomb of the Spider Queen, she's incredibly powerful. We oftentimes see her even like teamed up with the Sylvanas to get even more pushing power. You can really zerg an opponent down with that, and that's what oftentimes is attempted, at least on Tomb of the Spider Queen. But there's always Tassadar to consider as well. Virtus Pro has already shown that they want to play very aggressive melee styles, at least on Cursed Hollow, and they could try and do something similar with a Tassadar here. Team Liquid, they could use Tassadar as an addition to Rhaegar. We've seen especially Na'Vi do that quite a bit, where they try to run both of those supports and then go for the damage. And Virtus Pro, first of all, they like to go for Jaina. As I said, Jaina is very powerful now, and they indeed use their Tassadar. That means they let Zagara go. So they let Zagara go, they put Tassadar in. That takes Tassadar away from Team Liquid, is a potential counter also to Zagara if they're going for that. And gives them great vision and the opportunity to go into maybe something like a Thrall play. Even with a Sonya, they can use Tassadar then, of course. So Virtus Pro deciding against Zagara, which is actually kind of surprising on this map. But instead, Jaina, that doesn't really shock us too much. I would have expected Zagara Jaina. We got instead Jaina Tassadar. And as I already said, Team Liquid has the option to go for Tassadar Rhaegar. Or, well, now they don't have them anymore. But they would have definitely thought about it. So that's something that Virtus Pro just simply tries to just lock down right at the start. So that being said, things are actually looking so far pretty decent, I would say, for Virtus Pro. It's a good start into the draft for them, so it's not too bad. Team Liquid, they try to go for Team Orc here with Rhaegar and Thrall. They could have gone for Sonya instead, but they want to have something, of course, to just like work against potential melee assassins on the side of Virtus Pro. At this point, they really have to think about what they want to ban as well. That's that Zagara that we expected, and Team Liquid could go for a frontliner now, of course, too. With the Zagara, you have options to combo several tanks off with. That Thrall is still an option for them. They could go into an ETC, they could go into a Diablo. Depends a little bit on what kind of style they want to play. If they want to play like more towards the Wombo combo with like more Apocalypse setup, like stun combos, or if they want to go for a focus on certain damage heroes. Greymane is a hero that we haven't seen picked or banned in the first game, but he's very popular now. They could have gone for Thrall. They decided for Greymane. The cool thing about Greymane is that he doesn't only have, like, he's not only a great finisher, but he's also a hero that has a lot of siege power, like a lot of siege damage that he can push out with the Elixir. And the Elixir build is very popular, even though we have a couple of hybrid builds that are being used and a couple of adjustments. For example, my Insanity Nurok on that team plays the hero a lot in competitive play. So Greymane once again chosen, and with that he's probably going to go for the Elixir build. Muradin is at this point banned out. And that's an interesting ban here already. I mean, either they are trying to make sure that there's no Haymaker attempt, which is a little bit like the poor man's Hook, and Stitches is banned out. Asmodan is currently on the ban list. Now, that would be an interesting ban. I haven't seen Asmodan played in a long time, but if you play Asmodan on a map, then you play him either on Blackheart's Bay or on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And Team Liquid, they must know something that I don't. So, obviously, they scrimmed against either Virtus Pro against other teams that used Asmodan again. And as we said before, there is no better stacking map in the entire map pool than Tomb of the Spider Queen. And when we had Asmodan as a regular hero in the meta, it was this map where we've seen him all the time. And with Jaina and Tassadar, you have already that wave clear that will help Asmodan to get his stack process going. So apparently Team Liquid, aware that there's a bit of a pocket strategy that Virtus Pro is using these days, and they ban out Asmodan to be on the safe side here. It's actually like a pretty smart move, especially with a hero like Greymane already in the play. There's a couple of squishies that they already have. Virtus Pro goes for that Thrall that Team Liquid decided to not take, and they have now that Tassadar and Thrall. The question is still, do they add another support? A Tyrande would, for example, fit. If they go for a Tyrande, then they have, of course, like the range damage of Jaina. They have ETC currently, apparently, at the front line, so Sundering into Mosh Pit is a good option for them if they want to go for it. And then on the last pick, they could react to what Team Liquid is doing. A Tyrande is possible if they need to burst something down. They can go into a double support. They can add another front line if they really want to. And if they realize, well, we don't really have the power yet, we then need more damage, and they can adjust to that as well. So Virtus Pro going for a little bit more of a, I would say, not really defensive, but it's like one of those drafts where they are trying to be a little bit more flexible towards the last pick and try to react to what Team Liquid does. So this is not a race to lock certain heroes down, but in their case now, it's just like, let's start with a solid setup where we are flexible enough to adjust our last roll to what Team Liquid does. That's what Virtus Pro is currently attempting to do here. And Team Liquid needs a front line. Johanna is a good option now that Muradin is banned out. They could also, of course, go into... I mean, we've seen Na'Vi, for example, with Arthur. So if they want to slow down Thrall in his approach, they could go for Arthur's as well. It's definitely a hero that would work with their setup. They have also then Howling Blast for the lockdown. So we could see that. That being said, Zagara and Greymane for damage are already kind of nice. They could go Sonya here. Once again, they have a Rhaegar, so that Lightning Shield would work very well with them. If they go into a Sonya, they have also like a couple of options when it comes to the heroic ability. Falstad hasn't been taking it either, so they seem to be running this with a single frontline and not even going into that Sonya. That would work perfectly with that draft. But instead, Falstad has the option. Greymane can, of course, go full melee mode here in Worgen form. Yeah, and I'm a little bit curious to see how Virtus Pro is going to react to that. There is a lot of damage output that we see for Team Liquid. And Virtus Pro, they have only Tassadar so far. ETC can help with groupies, maybe even Proc Rock as the level 1 talent. But are they going to go again for such a... Yeah, they go for that Tyrande that we've been talking about. They go for the burst. Tyrande is taken here. So as already a bit expected earlier when the Tassadar came into play, they go for that second support. They have a Tyrande, ETC as the original stun, Tyrande after that, and then Jaina for the lockdown. So there's actually like a lot of burst damage that they have. And they are going to try to dominate the rotation between the middle and the top lane to make sure that they get like a lot of momentum in the early game here and maybe a couple of kills. So that's going to be... It's going to be really interesting to see how exactly they're going to deal with this. But guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into game number 2. Team Liquid against Virtus Pro. Team Liquid in the lead right now. Let's find out if Virtus Pro can win the second map and force game number 3. Game number 2 on Tomb of the Spider Queen has started, everybody. We have Team Liquid in the lead in the series here. And they're going up against Virtus Pro. Towards the left side of the map, once again, we have Lowell playing Zagara this time. Interesting. Chris on Greymane. Shat on Falstad. Juve on Johanna at the front. And Gerd Amherd once again playing Rhaegar. To the right side of the map, Lunan currently playing Tassadar. For Virtus Pro, we have Power of Dream on ETC, Mopsio on Thrall, Sefkaje on Jaina, and Neon is playing Tyrande in this case. So double support on the side of Virtus Pro. They're playing also with ETC for the pre-stun, and then the Tyrande follow-up. They can lock the target down even further with Thrall, and they have the burst damage of Jaina. They're going to try to dominate the rotation between the top and the mid lane. Gonna try and get a couple of extra stacks in there for especially Tyrande. And if there's any map out in the pool where you really try to play a Seasoned Marksman build with Tyrande, then it is definitely Tomb of the Spider Queen. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Usually when you're going for extra damage, some teams these days actually even try that with a solo Tyrande, which is, in my opinion, an absolute horrible choice. That really never works out for the team, especially not in the later stage of the game. But right now, if you rock that double support, then you, of course, can talent build Tyrande a little bit more towards damage, and that's exactly what they're doing. And they rotate from the top down to the bottom, so that's exactly what we've already been talking about, trying to get maybe an early kill in there. Thrall is the one that is trying to bully Zagara, and I mean, Mopsio against Lowell, that Chain Lightning is going to be spammed out the entire time. Gat already there, trying to help out with the occasional heal a little bit. And we have in this case, once again, the perfect aim taken. We see the Electric Charge. Now, that's an interesting talent to take. Like, we've been talking about Rega actually quite a lot. And if you go into Electric Charge, you mostly see that talent taken if you go for either a big bruiser at the front line or some kind of, like, warrior that really wants to go very, very deep against the backline so that you can dish out more damage and you can really just, like, maximize the amount of damage that you put onto the backline heroes. But in this case right now, I personally could have definitely seen the Lightning Bond, which is oftentimes taken. Navi has showcased that several times now. Since the Tomb of the Spider Queen, it's all about lane control and wave clear. And if you have especially the Lightning Bond, then you can, of course, with that double shield, get a lot of damage in against Web Weavers, for example, can burst them down quite easily. So it's an interesting choice that we actually see Gadamhead going for the Electric Charge here. If Chris on his Worgen is going to try and jump deep, then of course that would make sense. Shat with the attempt to fly away, but nope, no chance. Apparently, like, backed into a corner there, was going into the wrong direction for a moment, and was attempting to fly away there, but it was already too late. Tyrande was close and could stun him before that happened. And therefore they kill against TeamLiquid early on in the game. Tomb of the Spider Queen, definitely one of the maps where we oftentimes see Lingering Chill, by the way, has been taken. So in this case, not the Deep Chill. Deep Chill has a couple of patches ago been changed by Blizzard a little bit. The North American server actually still prefers Deep Chill to a certain extent, but in Europe, Lingering Chill has more or less replaced the Deep Chill completely, since the increase from the 30 to 35% is actually, for 25 to 30%, is not significant enough for the teams to really go for it. Again, the kill at the top lane against Johanna this time. You can still see the shield disappear here. We're having Shat there as well. Keep in mind that this is, of course, the entire ball game, or the entire playstyle that Virtus Pro is trying to execute right now. The domination between mid and top lane, the rotation, keeping that going, making sure that they get kill after kill, rotate in, slide in with ETC, and then try to zerg somebody down. Gadamhead and Lowell at the bot lane, trying to execute a bit of pressure, which would allow them to take 1 or 2 towers down. And if they can make that work, it would at least give them experience to really fight against the opponent again. An adjustment on level 4 already. Feral Heart taken for Gadamhead. He has again that double stun, and the Wolf to kill against Zagara. Gad moves in to take the gems at least, but this is exactly what we've been talking about. That burst damage composition that we are seeing for the team in red. Of course, that will also result in Gadamhead going for a cleanse. At least he should think about taking the talent, since it's going to be a great counter against exactly that stun lock that Virtus Pro is currently trying to put to the test. We're seeing with Feral Heart now a talent that is quite interesting in the sense that, of course, you have a lot more sustain on lane itself, but at the same time you give up Stormcaller, which is a great Lightning Shield talent. Jaina taken down now with a good rotation at the top, so TeamLiquid starting to fight back here, get some extra experience, but they haven't really turned in a single gem yet. Stormcaller, the talent that Rega did not take, usually it's more, well, it decreases the mana cost of the Lightning Shield, but it's more important because it also increases its duration. Again, Lowell being attacked, and Zagara down. They were trying to go for a bit of an attack against the red team here, but then they got ganked themselves, so not really the best moment for TeamLiquid. And they're starting to fall a little bit behind. With level 4 talents, we also see now, of course, Neon just like continuing with that damage build that he's executing here. He has 11 stacks on Seasoned Marksman at this point, and we're seeing him with the Searing Arrows going straight into the Lunar Blaze now on level 7. And the red team is starting with their Web Weavers. We see them on level 4 with the Leeching Plasma and also Kala's Embrace, so it's all as we're used to. Pretty standard builds here, with especially Greymane going for the Draft Overflow and the Incendiary Elixir, trying to make sure that he gets a maximum amount of siege damage out, and he will need that. Against the Web Weavers in particular, of course. Johanna hasn't made a choice yet on level 7. Battle Momentum and Conviction are the 2 talents that we see most of the time, and Conviction it is, going straight for that movement speed increase. At the same time now, once again, we're also having, of course, The Web Weaver has bursted down. 3 heroes in the mid lane now taking care of one of them. Zagara is busy at the bot lane defending against Thrall and Web Weaver number 2. And up at the top there's Shat, but Juve is already moving in and they're trying to go for the kill against him though, and barely getting away here, but ETC is down, going a bit too deep. Juve just barely surviving, and Sevkaja falling as well. Chris is going ham on his Greymane now, going from kill to kill, and Gerd is providing him in the lightning shield. Oh, going for another kill here now as well. Chris definitely rocking the show here up at the top. A triple kill against Virtus Pro with the Web Weavers defended against. That's definitely not what the Russian team was hoping for when they get the objective. Now we have the team in blue, we have TeamLiquid with a lot of gems that they can use to get their first turn in. Still a lot of control down to the bot lane from Lowell thanks to the creep tumors. Tazada definitely has to stop by here at some point. Here comes the attack against Mopsio. He gets away. Job well done here. Needs to be careful though, because there's still that Hydra. Whoa, that was a close one. Mopsio is very low, but Falset is dying regardless. That was a good move by Virtus Pro. Very aggressive game actually by both of the teams. Rotations the entire time from lane to lane, trying to counteract the opponent's movements and going straight for these kills. Cleanse, as expected, has been taken as the level 7 talent for Rhaegar now. The team's both aiming for level 10, and it looks like TeamLiquid might get that talent a little bit faster and therefore can use its momentum to push those Web Weavers in a bit deeper. Level 10 any second now, but Mopsio and his boys already in the mid lane. There's Luna, Neon, and Power of Dream. Only Sevkaja missing, and he's moving in as we speak. Here come the level 10 abilities now, though. Go for the throw, it has been taken. Falstad tries to go in. Here comes the Maw. They go for ETC. Down he goes. The cow is dead. Mighty Gus used to slow down Neon, but he still escapes. The gate hasn't fallen yet. Blessed Shield hasn't been used yet either. But we still see Chris with a go for the throat. He could jump in if he really sees an opportunity to get another kill. And they go through the wall, have always the option to move to the top to go with a Web Weaver for fort number 1. But they still stick it out in the middle of the map here. Here comes the level 10 now, finally for Virtus Pro 2. Good stun from Neon, but it's just not enough. There's no damage follow-up yet. The 4 down, TeamLiquid moving back away. And they are up against the Mosh Pit, they're up against Thundering. There's also now, again, Shadow Stalk used. Jaina could goes for the Water Elemental here. Could have seen that, of course, also with the Ring of Frost, since they are going for ETC's Mosh Pit instead of the potential Stage Dive. Stage Dive, not really like the best talent necessarily on this map here in particular. Usually it's used on bigger maps than that to get extra experience on the other side of the lane. Lockdown attempt against Gerd, you can't cleanse yourself. And Power of Dream is going for the safe version here. Better safe than sorry. Shed was trying to help out. That could actually end up with him dying as a... Nice! He was waiting for Mopsio to go for his ult. He still falls, but I really like that move on his part. Making sure that he waits just a moment here at the corner because he expected Mopsio to go for the Sundering. Sundering completely misses, but there's just simply too much additional stuns that Virtus Pro can bring to the table, and then Falstad falling after all. Now still attempting to make sure that they can't turn in here. But there comes ETC. TeamLiquid actually with quite a couple of mistakes right now. Trying to go in here and now potentially losing 2 heroes. Definitely not what they should have done. Of course, the idea behind it was to prevent the turn-in, but now they lost 2 heroes here for nothing. Didn't really accomplish anything because that turn-in is going to be completed after all. And yeah, Chris and Gerd have to be careful, but at least Chris has the range that he needs. Ancestral healing on Shad. TeamLiquid going up against 5 now. They are poking from a distance. They prevent the turn-in so far, but they lost 2 heroes in the process. Not quite sure if that was really worth it for them. One of the few reasons why Virtus Pro had to move back in the first place now is that Lunan is running out of mana for his shields, and Neon is also now looking too solid. So a pretty of a very expensive trade that TeamLiquid went for here. Losing 2 heroes, preventing the turn-in for it. Level 13 should hit a little bit faster for Virtus Pro as well. Up at the top lane, Shad is trying to turn in. If they get the turn in first, it would be worth it. But now we have Virtus Pro coming back into it, and they are looking very solid here. Maybe if Greymane can come with a cocktail. He has a pretty big range on that talent now. So if he can get those explosions in from a distance, then he might be able to just like chain those interrupts together with Tacita, or sorry, with Johanna, dropping a couple of shield clears. But the blue Web Weavers are actually ascending, so they made it happen. I guess in the end, worth it after all, but a very close call there for sure. They sacrifice 2 heroes, but they get the first Web Weaver wave. And that will result in their level 30, but Juve gets isolated and killed, and Lowell is now very far out too. Has to be careful. Sundering was ready, But well, Thrall did not go for it. It was a bit too far away, or Lowell would have likely died too. So now both of the teams again eager to use that objective. In the case of course, Virtus Pro, they have to defeat first of all the Blue Red Weavers before they can turn in their own gems. But we see them now with like a surplus of heroes in the game, and they also have the level 13 talent just a bit faster. Again, Unfettered Assault taken as the level 13 talent. For a long time on the Prowl was the talent was taken by most Greymane players, but now not only my Insanity and Na'Vi have started to change that up a little bit, we're also seeing Chris going for the Unfettered Assault here. So great talent, increases the lunge distance, you can actually like jump after an opponent with that a bit easier as well. Falstad is going straight for the giant kill as expected, auto attack built for him, and we're seeing the Earth Shield taken. So it's still interesting to me that he did not go into the Stormcaller talent on level 4. It's a great talent if you're planning on going for extra shield talents later on in the game, because those 2 extra seconds that you have are absolutely amazing. It's one of the best things about the level 4 talent, of course. When we're talking also about like extra damage, Tyrande by now has 25 stacks on the Seasoned Marksman. Looking at Falstad, he's only on 20. And that of course results in that discrepancy that we see between the kills. 5 kills for TeamLiquid, 10 kills currently for Virtus Pro. And Virtus Pro now also with the Overflowing Light in a position where Tyrande can really start to heal a bit more, and that is going to help her a lot. Look at the damage here, for example. We have currently Tyrande at 16,000 hero damage and Falstad only at 14,000. Another tribute to those extra Seasoned Marksman stacks that we are currently seeing here, and also of course the Searing Arrows as is. Again, the slow attempt here. Shad going for the Mighty Gust, trying to slow them down. They were trying to engage at this point. Uber is there. Lola has to be very, very careful. He's the primary target right now for Virtus Pro, so his positioning has to be absolutely top-notch. Chris, by the way, not dying yet. He's currently at 0 deaths, 23,000 damage, which makes him the top damage dealer in the game. Not really a big surprise as Greymane. A very strong hero here with a good poke from a distance going for the cocktail build. And now the turn-in attempt here once again. But they don't have the gem amount yet that they need. We could still see the turn-ins though for the team in red. They're actually like waiting a long time. They have 75 gems, and of course they want to make sure that they don't lose those. But in this case, we're now having also them trying to go for a camp first. Oh, TeamLiquid actually with the ballsy move up at the boss. They should be able to get that. Shad flew in and used the Mighty Gust, pushed everybody away. Boss has been taken. Here comes the Maw. Juve is a bit isolated. The attack against TeamLiquid. They're trying to go for a kill, but they might only get Juve here, if at all. There's still Ancestral Healing available. Oh, and Tacita is incredibly low. He's down. Ah, not even the ult of Thrall could save him here. And it starts to turn against Virtus Pro. Power of Dream all of a sudden is trying to go for the mosh pit. They were attempting to move out. Yep, let them dance, baby. Lowell does not have the Maw anymore to interrupt it. Shat is low and he's down, but he at least took down ETC with him. Sefkaja is also about to fall, and keep all of those additional gems now in mind. Nice double stun. Gerd jumping in, going for the slow. Here comes the stun of the boss, the double kill. All those gems, all the dirty esports money right there. Oh my god, the riches. Think about all that bling bling for the ladies. And now it's a kill against Thrall as well. We have 4 kills against Virtus Pro and the boss against them too. Level 16 talent for TeamLiquid. They go straight into the Rising Storm. Concentrated blast. Hammer time has been chosen. Johanna, she can go for the Imposing Presence if she wants to against Thrall, and of course that auto attack Tyrande build. But overall, like the play of TeamLiquid here, once again, absolutely exceptional. They are looking super strong here. The idea of Virtus Pro was to at least win the team fight after boss was taken, turn it around, but they lost so many of their gems. They lost roughly 70 gems in that encounter and 4 of their heroes. An absolute disaster, of course, for the Russian team, especially since they're already behind in this series. And this map could definitely be the conclusion. If Virtus Pro doesn't make an amazing comeback with a great team fight, then they have no chance. And for that to happen, they need that level 13 talent. And that's, of course, what they're currently looking for. And definitely one of the playmakers here was Thrall, sorry, not Thrall, but Rega in that last fight, jumping in deep, trying to go for the kills and eliminating Sefkaja and also getting the second kill here. Tacita falling down here. Wow, things are just getting worse right now. Tacita isolated as we had the turn in. Here comes the Mighty Gust attempt. Oh, but Chat is taken down before he can do anything. That was a bit too optimistic. Now we have 16 versus 16 talents. Sefkaja once again eliminated. Jaina is down. We have the talents here with the Imposing Presence on ETC. He's the only frontliner together with Thrall, of course. but still things are looking very good. No Numbing Blast taken for Jaina. Instead we have the Northern Exposure now taken. We have True Shot Aura also, and of course Dimensional War plus the Prescience on level 13 for Tassadar. Pretty standard build for him here, but overall a game in which TeamLiquid is just showcasing once again their skills. Doing really well here. Neon on Mopsio, still starting with the defense. It's even talents at least for now, so if you ever start a comeback, then you can do it now. TeamLiquid, they caught up in kills. Keep in mind that so far Virtus Pro was always ahead in kills, but it's now 12 versus 12 hero kills. But of course, when we're looking at structures, then it's a very different picture here. And TeamLiquid is trying to play it safe now. They get the Web Weavers, they time it with the reappearance of Shat, so they waited a little bit until they got the turn in and just said like, alright guys, wait until Falstad is back, and once he's back to business, we can start to push this in. We need to wait for 5, get him here. As Rhaegar under the bot lane has an easy time taking those mercenaries now too, and that of course increases the pushing power of especially the bot lane. So TeamLiquid can now either push with the mercenaries and the Web Weavers at the bot lane, or they could have decided to go into the middle. Usually you would try to go for the top lane since it's the lane farthest away from the bottom, but since that lane has already lost the keep, they are deciding to just like push with the Web Weavers at the bottom of the map. They still have a bit of a poke in the mid lane here too, so they rotate through both of them. Shad had to be healed, Ancestral Healing is there. Here comes Gerd, needs to be careful, gets isolated with a force wall for a moment, but they move into the middle, a little bit of poke here from a distance, but overall it's just TeamLiquid's attempt to go at least for the second keep. And of course, Virtus Pro, they have to react, they need to do something right now. They know that they are under pressure everywhere, the core is already being attacked and losing shields, TeamLiquid still in the middle of the map. They're very reluctant to go for a big fight right now, since they know that they will soon enough hit level 20. They're on level 19.5 already, and we're currently seeing them with the elimination, the keep in the middle, starting to focus at the bot lane. Taking a camp away, getting experience, and we are very likely to actually see them move away there again. Very unlikely that they are going to try to like really force the issue at this point. They take the camp. All that they needed for now. It's a bit more experience for them, and now they will just like try to go from lane to lane to get a bit more EXP with those waves, but that's it for now. Maybe if they can somehow isolate someone, but they're not going to risk too much here. It would definitely be the wrong play to play too greedy right now. Tyrande, by the way, on 38 season marksman stacks, just highlighting that again. Falstad is at 25 still. So Falstad having a pretty tough time here getting his season marksman stacks in. And I want to highlight again that this is mainly because of the early game. In the early game, we saw, as predicted during the draft, the strong rotation between top and mid lane from Virtus Pro that allowed Tyrande to farm a lot of minions and get those season marksman stacks, whereas TeamLiquid was in a spot where they had to mostly dodge the rotation and also lost a few heroes. So that's one of the main reasons why Falstad is not able to keep up with Tyrande when it comes to the season marksman stacks here, even though we have both of the teams right now with the same amount of kills. Virtus Pro, they are forced into a fight. TeamLiquid, they go for boss, they have a level 20 talent, and of course Virtus Pro doesn't want to fight here, but they have to. They know if boss is taken, the game is over, so all that they can do is try to go for it, even though it is a horrible situation for them. But Juve is nearly taken down. Indestructible keeps him alive. Lunan very low and eliminated. Ancestral Healing putting Juve back into play. Here comes Power of Dream. He still has the mosh pit up. Didn't use it yet. Gerd is low, but not down yet. Gerd gets away. Here comes the mosh pit. Only Johanna is dancing. Good kill against Rhaegar. Mopsio with the kill against Sigara too. Can Virtus Pro can really come back into this? It's a 3 versus 3 right now, but Mopsio is very low, taken out by the boss. And Tyrande has fallen as well. In comes Shad, flies in and finishes the job against ETC. A team wipe once more. And this is now, of course, the opportunity for them to go straight for the kill at the core. And therefore, game number 2 secured by TeamLiquid. Great job here by them. Only hero not dying in this game is still Chris, one of the best assassins that we currently have in Europe, of course, the German player here, finishing it with Juve and Shad together. Well played by TeamLiquid. They advance to the semi-final of the winner bracket. They take down Virtus Pro with a 2-0 here on the final map tomb of the Spider Queen.
And that is it, everybody. GG and well played. The game's over, and therefore also the video for today here on KhaldorTV. We had another great Heroes of the Storm match, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Also hope that you enjoyed the commentary, of course. So thank you very much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to KhaldorTV yet, you should definitely hit that sub button as well. If you have some friends that like Heroes of the Storm, then definitely make sure that you show them the channel and also the video. There's a lot more where that came from. We're going to have like continuous content throughout the next few weeks with more Heroes of the Storm matches played, not only on the European server, but also on the North American server, in tournaments, in leagues, and more than that. So guys, once again, thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope that you had some fun. It was a pleasure casting for you. And I'm going to see you next time with even more videos here on the channel. So have a great day and see you soon. Bye-bye.